What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of GearBreakingNation.com, where we give our excellent assessment and reviews. I'm NarikChase, and in this video we're going to be reviewing Fallout 3. Now, Fallout 3 is the third installment in the Fallout universe, developed by Bethesda Studios, and the story follows a dweller from Vault 101 who has to venture out into the wasteland to find his or her father. Guys, this game is phenomenal, and I enjoyed every moment of it. This is definitely one of those games that comes out like once every 10 years, actually revolutionizes how the world of video games actually works, and they do it so well. Visually, the game does look pretty good. The characters do have a lot of detail to them, as well as the environment, which has a very gritty and isolated and desolate look to it. There's also the fact that, you know, when the wind blows, you see dust here and there. When people get shot or blown up or get killed in some kind of way, you can see their blood, you can see their guts. So there is a high level of detail to the visual effects. There are a lot of beautiful landscapes to just sit back and admire at times. The game does have a really good soundtrack, and it does manage to pull some of those old 30s, 40s, and 50s songs and make some very catchy. Maybe it's the way the levels are going, maybe it's the loading system, maybe it's the radios that be playing, maybe it's the establishment that these songs be playing in, but the music is really good. And it's very unexpected, considering I'm not from that time period, but I found myself even downloading some of these older songs. The music does change with the environments, and it does help to emphasize the very theme of the environment. So when you're out there in the wasteland exploring, you feel like there's just a sense of dread, that there's also a sense of wonder and exploration. When you're underground, there's this creeping dark tone that makes it feel more isolated, makes it feel more claustrophobic. The game is really good when it comes to the score. Like in the Elder Scrolls games, players can switch between third person and first person depending on their playing choice. And each one has their goods and their bads. But it's good that they have the option there. Companions. I cannot have beat this game without Dogmeat. Dogmeat was hands down one of the best companions. And then you can pick a second companion out of about 6 or 7 other characters. There are a lot of characters that you can have, and it all depends on the karma which you accumulate within the game. The more bad stuff you do, the more bad karma you have, the worse people look at you. The more better stuff that you do makes you look good, and people will judge you off of that goodness also. So the karma system is a very fine line. It's great that the game doesn't just establish that you're always good or you're always bad. There's always that middleman, that gray ground. That way you're not always good, you're not always bad. I have to say that one of the best things about this game is the VAT system. Now, for those of you who don't know, who have not played this game, the VAT system allows you to slow down time in a sense to where you can target specific parts of your opponents, whether it be their arms, their legs, their heads, or you want to generally disarm them, you can target the weapons, or if you want to cripple them, you can target certain their legs to keep them from running from you, or their arms to keep them from being able to hit you or operate a gun. And it's one of the best. It's hands down one of the best combat systems in video games. There are a number of things that do account for the success of your strategies, with whether it be guns, whether it be your gun skill being up, whether it be the critical, where it also be depending on how strong your opponent is, that determines the success of your shots. You have your attributes, strength, you have your agility, your endurance, your intelligence, your perception, your luck. All of these come together to help you survive. But the best thing about the game is it lets you customize those. So that way, the more strength you have, the stronger you are, the more you can carry. The more endurance that you have, it gives you more health. You know, you're less acceptable to some of the more dangerous aspects of the wasteland. When it comes to intelligence, when you find books, you get more skill points for reading them. Even in perception allows you to see enemies, to take enemies at a further distance. Also, there are your skills, such as your repair, such as your science, such as your big guns, such as your small guns, such as your explosives. The more lock picking that you have, you can unlock safes, repair. It helps you to make your weapons last longer, because in this game you have to repair your weaponry. The higher your repair skill is, the longer it takes for your weapon to wear out. And for those people who watch this channel know I love character customization. Character customization is something I think they ought to implement in more games to make them more interactive. Character customization of the physical appearance, and it's a wide variety of different choices, male or female. The game does accommodate for what race that you pick, or whether you are a man or a woman. All of these come together, the attributes, the skills, come and along with the character customization makes for a very interactive experience when it comes to this game. There are some moments in the game where the loading screens seem like they take forever, or the game glitches. Sometimes you might see an enemy coming at you and then he just flies into the floor, or flies through the wall, or is running in the wall and just flies into the sky. And although it is pretty hilarious at times, sometimes it can be a bit of an annoyance. Some of the better aspects of the game are the creatures. One of the best creatures in this game are the death claws. They are a challenge. They are a challenge to fight if you don't have the right weaponry. But they are without a doubt one of the best aspects of this game. They're fast, they're strong, they're really deadly. They're perhaps the most deadliest adversaries in the whole entire game. The human population is just fractured into different factions. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there are plenty of different factions, so that way you can it just gives you enough variety to where you can tell that humanity is trying to cope and adapt. Establishments are good, or if they're bad, or they're strictly neutral. So it is so much, not only in terms of content, but entertainment. It has its comedic moments. It does have its romantic moments, dramatic moments, its action feel, its horror feel. It takes part in a lot of genres. The DLC is expansive, and it does add a lot of content to the story, especially with the expansive open world. The voice performances are good, but there are also some points where the voice performances aren't as good. Maybe it's because you have these NPCs or whatnot that aren't important, although there are a lot of them that really are. And also some of the lip syncing does get knocked off here and there. But having said that, this is a very enjoyable game. Now for the final verdict. Fallout 3, as I said, is not only one of the best games ever, but it's one of my all-time favorites. I have to just say that again because I love this game. You have literally spent 100+ hours on it. It has tons of exploration, tons of side missions. The story is pretty decent. And there's even a bit of emotional pull at it also. The chroma system makes it more interactive. The character customization along with the attributes and skills make it more interactive. The world is really fleshed out. There are so many different components. When I say there is just content to this game, there is content. I have to say, even despite the glitches and the freezes, Fallout 3 gets a 5 out of 5. Guys, in the comment section below, let me know what you think about Fallout 3. Have you played it? What do you think they could have did better? Do you think this is the best version of the game? And do you think they could have added a multiplayer aspect to it too? So, into the next edition of GearBreakerNation.com, keep the gears turning. Bam!